Connect again. And then all of a sudden, they're just back like nothing ever happened.
Gosh.
It's unbelievable.
It's been a crazy year, Dr. Oz.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a lot better. I mean, thank you. This past year, for me, has been a year of just recovery. And now this next year, I'm going to be getting my body back. You know, I'm looking to do that this year.
I don't think you lost it. I'm pretty happy with everything you're doing. So Bob's doing a big announcement. He says that the days of cutting carbs are over. Now for you, this is a big deal. Why the change of heart?
Well, I just, we work in this business and we see all these diets, and I've done so many of them throughout the years, and I really wanted to press the reset button and find balance again on our plates, because everything just got so off balance, in my opinion.
You know what I love about you? You keep up with all the stuff that scientists are saying about food. There's so much talk about, but I'm going to focus on the diet initially, but at the very core, what you're showing us is resilience. If you can bounce back from being dead for, 17 minutes?
It was a lot.
How many people can say they did that? All right, so let's focus on the carbs initially. So there's two kinds of carbs. Super carbs, right? And then there are these garbage carbs, right?
Right.
So what the heck is super carb? What the hell is garbage?
Super carbs are going to be those complex carbohydrates, right? Those foods that take a lot longer to digest in the system. Yeah, like brown rice pastas and whole grain breads, those type of foods. Garbage are going to be those things that just just rip through the system. They're just empty calories. They taste good for a second, and then all of a sudden you've got all these empty calories that didn't do you any good. So with women, I say 30 grams of carbs at every single meal. Men, around 45.
All right, so let's focus on women.
Okay.
30 grams is 2 slices of whole grain bread.
Right, and this is what I love, because I want to be able to have a sandwich and not feel like I've committed some cardinal sin.
For sure. All right, so that works for breakfast. For lunch, you okay with rice now?
I love rice. I mean, I just went to the grocery store today and packed up a lot of good rice in the grocery store.
All right, so rice, half cup, and then pasta, which is, Bad Bolton. I can't imagine. Bob Harper okay with pasta.
Yeah, I like a pasta. I feel like I was Italian in a past life, so it's like I get enjoyment from it. And there are so many great ones that are out there right now that you can try, because I really think pasta on its own pretty much tastes the same. It's what you put on that pasta.
Let's prove that point. So let's do bread first, then we'll do pasta. So first up on bread. And these are the foods that people fear the most. Earlier this season, you should know. Here, hang on, I'll teach you about this for a second. We said from now on that we're no longer going to declare war on bread. Let's end the war on bread.
Let's end the war on bread.
It was very popular with the audience. I think a lot of folks felt they just need to have a little bit of bread in their life. And you say it's okay with you, but with some restrictions.
Yeah, it's that thing, whenever I see Oprah go, I love bread, I'm like this, so do I.
So true.
Yeah, but when you go for the bread, it's not that real, starchy white breads. It's not even the breads that say whole wheat or whole grain. You've got to see that 100% on there.
All right. So we've all heard of avocado toast, right, which I happen to adore. You've upped the game. You've created Greek yogurt toast.
Here's the thing. I have to watch my fat intake, and I stay more low fat. I still have my fat, but avocado toast got to be a little bit too much avocado on it. So I thought, what can I do? Let's do like a Greek yogurt for my protein. And let me tell you, when I first came up with this, I was like, a little mad scientist in my own kitchen, and I decided to put Greek yogurt, and I thought, people are going to think I'm so weird to do this. Everyone loved it.
Of course they do.
They were like, I want to eat that.
You're weird in just the right way.
No, it's weird in just the right way.
Now, pasta, and I'm going to let you just pontificate on this. I want people to hear you clearly. The pasta itself is the base.
Right.
It's what you add on that you argue makes a difference. In that case, we can actually pick a pasta that's super healthy for us. So walk us through some of the great options.
Those gluten-free options, if you're gluten-free, I mean, there's a sorghum pasta that not many people know about. Quinoa pastas, spelt pastas. There are these red lentil pasta is what I'm really into right now, and chickpea pastas. So people think it sounds really weird at first, but give it a try, see what it's like, because when you put whatever it is that you want to put on that pasta, it's going to taste great.
And what was for you, the Italians especially, I know you can taste the difference. That's not what Bob's saying. The question is, does it taste good the way it is? Don't compare it to the old semolina stuff. So, look, spelt pasta, 8 grams of fiber per serving. Sorghum pasta's got more antioxidants than blueberries. And quinoa pasta's got the most protein of any of these options. So you have your choice. You have fiber, you've got antioxidants, you've got protein. Pick the thing you want, and then you can get away with the sausage you want.
Absolutely. And I think that you got to be able to think outside the box. It doesn't need to be the way that your mom made it all the time. You know, things are ever changing and growing. So that's why I think try out some different pastas and see what you think.
So speaking of trying out, I know around the holidays people get together for a cookie exchange. But I thought, why not let everyone get together and try new pastas? A carb swap, if you will. Take a look at the first annual pasta exchange.
Hey, Dr. Oz, so my pasta of choice was the sorghum spaghetti with marinara sauce.
Hey, Dr. Oz. So I'm from Texas, and we love everything with beef. So we got broccoli, buttered broccoli, with some brown rice, linguine pasta. Super excited. Super excited.
Hello, Dr. Oz. So I have a quinoa penny pasta with sauteed garlic and oil with some peas. Ooh, it's so yummy. All right, it's eat time. I want to eat. Oh, what do you got, Dr. Oz? I have mushroom orzo with fresh garlic and a little bit of cheese, and that's it.
Yeah.
Let's dig it,
Elaine is here. She actually hosted the event. So how do the pastas work? Explain. You got the blood in you.
Look how good they look.
First of all, this was so fun. It was a different idea. We did a ladies who lunch idea, and everybody brought their own pastas, and we came up with an orzo instead of maybe a risotto. You could try that. Manja, manja. How is
That
it?
will manja. That's really good.
Okay.
What's this?
This one is the sorghum.
Oh,
The hardest to find.
the hardest to find.
The hardest to find because everybody kept trying to sell us the actual grain.
This is very, very good. It was worth the effort. Which one do you like?
I feel the same way.
All right.
Beyond breakfast, lunch, and dinner, there's a fourth meal, he says, we all ought to be eating. He calls this the floater meal. Find out how to add this newly identified meal into your day. More rules from Bob when we come back.
Let's do this.
Bob Harper, who's revealing his favorite super carbs. They just showed us how we can get away with bread and pasta. You heard right, bread and pasta, we can all do it. Now he's going to explain why we all need to be adding a fourth meal. He calls it a floater meal into our days. So before we get into this fourth meal, I want everyone to go through this. It's a day of super carbs. We're going to start off our day with a breakfast made of frozen granola cakes.
Yep.
Now granola, for most of us, has a bad connotation.
Granola is a bad word, right, in the diet world. Not the way I'm doing it, because I've made it with your whole rolled oats. I'm going to add Greek yogurt to that. We're going to mix that up, and we're going to put them in these little cupcake tins. And all of a sudden, you add berries on top. You throw them in the freezer. And
that
they're
simple?
so good. They're super simple, and they travel really well. And I mean, look how cute they are.
If you're going to copy his work, copy him exactly. So we made these, and they have oats, but they don't have the sugar of the granola, which is what gets you.
That's really good.
They're really good. We got protein.
Did you get that off? Yeah.
I look my best when I'm eating granola. All right, so the moment you've all been waiting for, it's a whole new concept, which I like a lot. The idea of a floater meal.
Right.
Now, I want everyone to be clear on this. We don't just throw these terms out. We're not talking about just a simple snack. Because a floater meal is very different. What is a floater meal?
A floater meal is...
It floats to you.
Yeah, how much do you love that?
It's so light you'll float away on
It'll
it.
just float away. I said that I wanted you to be able to have 3 meals a day, right? Just like we learned when we were kids. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I want to eat more food. Even with the way that I want you to eat, there's still room for more calories and more food. So I didn't want to use the word snack. This floater meal you can have anytime during the day. I choose to eat my floater meal at 8 or before you go to bed.
And how many calories roughly?
The calories run, they're pretty low. They're going to be around that 200, 150 to 200.
But it's not 75. It's a meal. It's just when that floats to you.
I mean, super easy and substantial. I want you to feel like you're actually eating something. Because again, I don't want to just have like 3 nuts in my hand. It just doesn't work for me.
Never count nuts. One of my favorite floater meals from Bob's New Diet is something called an egg white protein shake, which is
I love
this.
I like an egg white protein. Throw a little vegetable in your protein shake, especially if you're not getting enough vegetables during your day, because you're not really going to taste it.
No.
No.
You know, there's a fullness to this,
Yep.
and it's also not too sweet. I don't want things that overwhelm my palate.
Yeah, because if I start to eat something that's too sweet, all of a sudden I'm going to want more sweets.
On that regard,
Yeah.
float away with the floater meals. Up next, a surprise for Bob. Now you know what's coming at you. Surprise for Bob that you don't want to miss. Friends and family take care of me. Now, Bob is on the road to recovery, and today he reveals why he's lucky to be alive.
Every day I am so thankful my friend Bob Harper survived that heart attack just 1 year ago, and he's back with us now. He survived one of the most deadly heart attacks of all. It's known as the Widowmaker, which about 10% of people survive. You know, This Is Us, that great show on NBC.
Yes.
The father Jack died of a widowmaker, which I'm
Right.
sure you're aware of. And Rosie O'Donnell had a widowmaker. There's lots of people who've had them, and lots of people that have passed from them. Why do you think you survived?
Well, I feel like I know why I survived. I survived because there were people in the gym that day that knew how to handle a person in that situation. They knew how to do CPR. There was an AED there. God, I get choked up when I talk about it. It's so weird. So that's the only reason that I'm here right now.
So I was reading your book, which is beautifully done. And you talk about the fact that when they came to find you, they saw you on the floor and someone was performing CPR on me.
Right.
But you didn't mention that person's name.
I did not know that person.
So I was curious. I wanted to find this guy. I looked high and low. I couldn't find him anywhere. He's never reached out to you?
No, I did not know about this other person that was performing CPR on me.
So we have a medical unit on the show. It was all these medical students, great students from great schools, and so we were here when you got sick and you came on the show, and so when they went back to medical school, they were all talking about you. One of them is a classmate of that young man.
No way.
Yes, his name is Philip. Would you like to meet him?
Yeah.
Philip, come on out. Have a seat. What's that like, Bob?
It's really overwhelming because I wasn't even. I don't even know what to say. I'm like never been at a loss for words right now, and I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say.
So you're a medical student.
Yep.
Now, here's the part you might not know. It's a little scary, but Philip had never done CPR on anybody before.
Really?
So you get trained when you start medical school, but only on dummies. So it was the first. Oh, I'm sorry.
So, Philip, you said it. So, explain what you saw. What happened?
Okay. So this was my first time at the gym, and I just saw a bunch of people standing around someone who was lying on the ground. So when I felt for your pulses, which were weak, and then they stopped, and then all of a sudden, do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. All of a sudden, you turned blue. Like, actually blue. So that's when I started CPR.
You'd never performed CPR on someone. Dr. Oz, you've never seen me at a loss for words. I'm like kind of freaking out right now.
You don't have to say anything. I wanted this reunion to happen because this is what learning CPR is about for everyone at home. What is it like to sit next to a man whose life you saved? A man who would be in the grave or in a coma somewhere if you hadn't just asked a couple extra questions, felt a pulse, watched his color change blue, and then done something life-saving.
I mean, it's unreal. And I'm just so happy that you're okay.
All right, so if you don't mind, I will do something that's a little bit unique. I want you to teach Bob how to do CPR, because I just learned that his CPR training has lapsed.
Yep.
So if you're going to pass it on, come on over here.
Right.
Philip, and be very instructive, be forceful. Bob takes direction. He's a trainer.
I take direction very well.
And I will be the dummy this time. So, Bob, you're going to do CPR on me. All right, so I'll lie back. Okay. All right, go ahead. So what does he do?
Okay, so first you just have to assess the scene and see if everything is safe. And then make sure someone's on a hard surface. And I'm skipping a lot of steps because I'm not qualified to teach this, but the most important thing is that you start compressions if someone's heart is stopped.
Call 911 first. Get someone coming to help you out, just in case. Then go on, show them how to do it. Get down on your head.
Okay.
Get dirty here, Philip.
Okay, so You're going to want to lock out your arms and put one hand over the other, and then you're going to find the sternum, and you're just going to press down pretty deep.
And that's when you want to just like try to break their rib cage. Because let me tell you, I was really, really sore, and I'm thankful. I was really sore. You really went for it on my rib cage.
Check out the full list of healthy carbs, weight loss at Dr.Oz.com. And for the entire Super Carb Diet book, Bob's new book's fantastic, called The Super Carb Diet. Get one to your friends, share it. And you know what, audience, I love you all so much. Bob has agreed to give everyone a copy to take home with him. Not one to back down from anything. Former NFL athlete turned actor Terry Crews is here. And he's here today breaking the silence in an interview you haven't heard, because nothing's off the table. Terry, come on out. It's impossible. You make it look easy.
Oh, man. Look,
it's remarkable.
I'll tell you, it's my life, man.
It is. So I want to start off applauding you for bravely doing something that I knew you had in you. I just didn't know if anyone would be willing to take it on as big a challenge as you have. But you were part of the beginning of the Me Too movement.
Yes.
What is it like being fueling something as important as this?
You know, what was wild is once I did those tweets, what happened is all started. Once Ronan Farrow wrote the story for the New York Times about the whole Harvey Weinstein and everything that was going on, and believe me, I began to get a PTSD. It was I was having like remembrances of when it happened to me, and the courage that these women showed. Really, it just invigorated me, and it made me feel like, okay, I can tell my truth too. And what was wild though, yes,
God bless you.
You know, but one thing that was wild is that I was getting from the social media that people were calling the women opportunists. They were calling them gold diggers. They were saying they're just looking for a payday. And it made me angry. I remember just shaking. And I was on the set of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I remember just tweeting. And I was just putting them out. And I remember pressing send, and my publicist didn't know, my wife didn't know, my agent didn't know, no one knew. And I just put it out there. And I didn't name any names, but I had to lend support to these women who were it was the bravest stand I've ever seen.
So let me ask you, a lot of folks who said, I did my duty, I put it out there, I'm going to go back and get out of the middle of this crossfire. You stood your ground.
Well, the thing is that there began to be, this is what women go through all the time. And I totally have experienced almost every iota of what a woman goes through when you get gaslit. The whole gaslighting is when they tell you, oh, you're crazy. It didn't happen like that. And I was getting lies. And I said, wait a minute, man, this is not true. You know what happened. They're like, we didn't know. I was like, holy cow. This is what women go through all the time. And then once I filed a police report, did everything right, the case was thrown out. And I was like, that's exactly what women go through, nonstop for centuries. And what I decided, I said, you know what? But the big thing is, I did file a civil suit, but the big thing is, I stood up for myself. I took my life back. That was the issue. You know what I mean? That's the most important thing. You don't lose anything. And another thing is, I wanted to reiterate with everyone, is that when you've been molested or been harassed, or there's shame that's thrown on you. You get shame on you, and and what happens is, if you internalize it, it comes out different ways. You don't know what's going on. What I knew through all my therapy and all I had been through, I said, do not take this shame. It's not mine.
No, it's not.
I did nothing wrong, and I had to reiterate that. And it really invigorated me. So I said, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go to the red carpets. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep doing my thing. I dare you to stop me. And it took another chance, another turn that has really become what I feel as my purpose in Hollywood, to be honest.
God bless you.
Oh.
Hey, you know, it's an interesting thing. I got to say, by the way, the agent Adam Bennett has denied the allegations. I just want to get that out there.
Yes.
And I know that you filed the suit, as you said. Prosecutors ended up not pursuing it.
Right.
And the fact that you're proudly standing there because you have nothing to be ashamed of is reflective of what we all ought to be thinking about. And that's the paradox of this whole
That's right.
Me Too movement, right? People are coming back from being in the shadows because they were ashamed.
Yes.
And shining light on it heals all of us. But how did you feel, just as an example, just to make sure everyone thinks it's not just Rosie and Terry Crews is, oh, he's different. When the prosecutors say, we're not going after this guy.
Oh, I was hurt. I was hurt. You know what what blew me away is what happened to me was considered a misdemeanor. But if I would have reacted, it's a felony. I was like, okay, that's a trap. It sounds like a trap. And you feel like, okay, then they said, well, we can't call it a felony because it wasn't skin on skin. I was like, wait a minute. So you could just grab somebody through their clothes? Is that what happens now? It really highlighted a lot of things that people weren't able to see unless it happened to a man.
Yeah.
This is another thing, because what's so wild is what women get all the time is, what were you wearing? What did you do that made them do that? And I'm like, but it changed the whole perspective when it was a guy like me.
Yes, it is.
When it was me, and then the question I got was, why didn't you knock him out? Why didn't you do this? And I'm going, wait a minute. First of all, I mean, knocking someone out is not the answer to anything. No. You know what I mean? It didn't solve not one. In fact, it would have made me a pariah. I would have lost everything I had. And this is why I knew I had to follow suit.
Yeah, that is a trap. I never thought about that part. And I think part of what made you so popular, I think the reason that when Time Magazine named the People of the Year, and you were in there, and I was so proud looking at my buddy, you know, looking back proudly,
Yes.
not in shame, was because you had done something to broaden it. Because it's not just about one or twice instances, it's about how we see each other and how we respect each other. And the way we can diss each other in ways sometimes that seem unconscious but become a systematic suppression.
But doctor, I want to tell you, this is what's so crazy. You know, 1 in 4 women go through this all over. But the truth is, 1 in 6 men have been molested, have been harassed, but they couldn't, because of the way, you know, this toxic masculine world has been built, you don't talk about this thing. I was so thankful because my wife was there with me the whole time. You know what I mean? But if I'd have been alone, you know.
So, speaking of opening up, and you brought up your beautiful wife, you've also been very transparent about other parts of your life,
That's right.
including an addiction that is very pervasive in America.
Yes.
A lot of guys run away from. You just decided to take that on also.
Oh yeah, I talk about, but this was the thing. Back in 2013, I wrote a book called Manhood, and it actually came out in 2014. But it was about my addiction to pornography. It was about all the mistakes that I had made, just the lie. You know what? It's not how good you are. It's the lies you choose to believe.
Yeah.
And I went to therapy, doctor. I went to therapy, years of therapy, which has allowed me. Which is why I know this is my purpose. Because of me coming forward with all this stuff earlier, it actually prepared me for what I didn't know would happen later. So when people are coming out, it's very, very hard because it's kind of like flying a plane from New York to LA. You've never flown a plane before.
No.
So I would never advise anyone to go public right away. It's like you have to talk to someone you really, really trust, someone that really cares about you, that you can stand with and will stand with you, because it's probably the most traumatic thing you've ever been through.
So distill this therapy that you've had, because you've obviously processed it well. For the many folks who are struggling with addiction in their lives, there's probably a deeper insight you've gained you can share with us. And I know part of it was the fact your wife stood with you and you did it with her.
Yeah.
But you had to see her differently to get past porn addiction.
Yes. I mean, this was my thing. It's all about your base beliefs. I believed, simply because I was a man, I was more valuable than my wife. In my heart. And it allowed these things to, it was my way or the highway. You don't like it. I lacked empathy like you wouldn't believe. She would be telling me her heart, and I'd just be looking at her like, I don't understand what you're saying, because of my beliefs. And it's more, I call sometimes this toxic stuff, I call it a cult. Because it's almost like you need to be deprogrammed. Once you realize, wait a minute, I believe the wrong things. For a minute there, I thought that the the sun went around the earth, but it's the other way around. And that woke me up. And let me tell you, I've been 100% just, transparent, letting people know that you have to examine yourself. You really do. You can't be pointing around and looking at other things.
It's like a philosopher. He even does that well. All right, up next, we're going to take a little turn with Terry. He's opening up about his latest mission to help empower all of us, especially you and the ones you love. Plus, he has a little surprise for me, I hear. Stick around. You out there, actor Terry Crews. Now, he's opening up about his latest mission to embrace the evolution of modern masculinity. It's going to help us heal. It'll empower us. And I was just going to get this out because it's so important. When you talk about the way that you saw women, and then you acknowledge that you had to change your views, your values, that's what a real man does. If any of the women out there watching who aren't being respected by the men in their lives, we don't always get it, right? It takes us a long time to figure this out. Our moms try to give it to us. We miss the boat sometimes.
Right.
And we need some help to get there. But if we don't get it, it's because we're not really men yet. And you say the first step towards all this empowerment is about evolving. Break that down to me. What does that look like in your daily life?
Let me tell you, the era I came up in, you didn't show weakness. You could not admit that you felt pain. And then you know what? That's a really, really hard way to go, man. And there were things like I was different. I'm an artist. I would paint, I would draw, and there would be guys like, man, you doing all those painting stuff and all that. And I played the flute, and they were like, man, put that flute down. And I was like, well, I like the flute. The flute is good. It's what you're getting. It was crazy because all these things, and I would feel bad about doing what I wanted to do. Yeah. And what I realized, what true manhood was about, was being you, like for real, doing the things you really enjoy doing without apology. It's kind of wild because you look at this James Bond kind of culture where it's like, it became with me, where I grew up, it was about trying to sleep with as many women as you could. But true manhood is about loving and caring for as many people as you could. Yes, that's it. True manhood.
So the crazy thing is I look at you and I admire you. And I started looking at you and admiring you, making those Old Spice commercials. Right? I mean, who can forget those? Look at these. Look at this thing. You're so good. I mean, just narrate this for me. I mean, how do you stay in such great shape?
Man, I constantly, I do my intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
I've been doing intermittent fasting for 6 years. And it's been incredible. Let me tell you, I love it. But
what's my favorite one? That's the one you choose.
The good thing about, let me tell you what Old Spice did. Just the other day, we had a Facebook Live where we did 80 tasks for 80 minutes, which celebrated like the 80th celebration of Old Spice. But it talked about being a man, and it's like a contemporary man could do all kind of things. I was making guacamole, I was folding fitted sheets, and the internet was basically telling me what to do. They would talk me through how to make an apology or how to give a compliment. All these cool things that normally wouldn't be considered manly, but are. They're definitely manly.
Well, they matter.
That's right.
They make people happy and show that you love them. Come on over.
Oh, yes.
I want to say, so intermittent fasting is one. How many hours do you not eat for a day?
16 hours. I eat from 2 to 10.
2 in the afternoon, so 10 at night.
So 10 at night. That's my eating window, and then I only have BCAA drink or tea and water after that. During that fasting period, it's 16 hours.
Okay. Now, one of the things you also have is this smoothie, which you're big on.
I love smoothies. I'm a big smoothie man. I was the one to scoop this all up and shake it up and then drink it right now. I have my banana, which has tons of potassium, some water to loosen it up. The orange juice is for flavor and keep it right. The flaxseed is so you can get your omega-3s, the probiotics and for the yogurt, and then the protein powder. You know what that's for? That's for the muscles, man. You gotta have some protein, and that mixed together.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Thanks, heaven.
I love you.
So the thing is, it's good.
I know. I told you it's good, man.
That doesn't taste like mud. It's actually good. So from 2 to 10 at night, you're drinking smoothies, things like this, the branched chain amino acids, and teas the other times of the day.
Exactly.
Okay, that's the food. That's how you look at this. But I want to understand what's going on here. And you mentioned as a little boy, you like the flute, but you like to draw.
Yes.
So I'm saying you got a surprise for me.
Okay.
Terry's going to teach me how to draw something. Anything you want. You know what? I'm going to go this. I'll go this only because I can look at you.
Okay, here we go. I am going to teach you how to draw a face. Very, very simple.
A face.
I mean, everything is circles or squares.
I'm terrible at faces. This is my face.
That's amazing.
Yes, next.
But let me show you. I'm gonna do a real. But I'm gonna show you something really simple. Let's do. I'm gonna give you. We're gonna make an oval. Let's do a big oval. And that's the head and that's the jaw. But one thing that people don't do, see how you put those eyes way up there? What you have to understand is you're really looking at an illusion. Your eyes are dead in the center of this circle. People always put eyes way high. No, they are definitely in the center of the circle. So if you just do two little half circles, just like this.
Half circles.
That's okay. There you go. Two little half circles. That's your eyes. It's right in between your eyes.
Look at that. Missed the ball completely.
You see that? Now your ears are always like right even with their eyes like there. So you just all you have to do is put your ears right there, and you have ears, and your nose is halfway between there. So let's just make a nice little piece for your nose.
This is like the magic.
And your lips are always right here. So right in between your nose and the bottom, you got it.
That worked.
Now, it does work. Now, you just do some pupils. Let's do a circle. Let's do a circle. Let's make some eyebrows. There's one line here, one line there. And let's give him a mustache. Why not? And a scribble there, and a scribble there, and let's give him some hair. I'm gonna give him Dr.Oz hair. Okay. There we go.
What do you guys think? And a hat.
There we go. And there you got your face. And that's a more realistic face. You just keep doing that, you got it.
Talk about real. I'm looking at real right now. There's a real man. A real man. Let me ask you, in honor of Old Spice's 80th anniversary, you can catch Terry giving 80 lessons like this on Facebook. Check it out. Celebrate this man. He's done some great things. We'll be right back. Well, my trusted sponsorship partner, Metamucil, and I set up the Metamucil 2-week challenge to help you boost your fiber intake. And by now, many of you have completed the challenge and are on the road to feeling lighter by being more regular. So, if you want to keep that lighter feeling going, we've got the tips and tricks you need to stay on this journey. And here on behalf of Metamucil, to help us out is Jamie Hess. I appreciate you coming and joining me again. So for viewers who have not yet joined the Metamucil 2-week challenge, is it too late for them to get involved?
It is not. Dr. Oz, I'm so happy to be back talking about this Metamucil 2-week challenge. It's been so much fun. Quite simply, this is about helping America get more fiber by taking Metamucil, which is a psyllium-based fiber. That's a special kind of fiber because it has a gelling property that helps trap and remove that waste that's weighing you down. It's going to help people be more regular and just feel lighter.
So if you have been on the plan, which many folks have, 2 weeks is up.
Right.
You keep going, what do you do?
Yes, you keep going. For me, actually, I started taking it about 3 months ago as part of this 2-week challenge, and I'm completely hooked. It's really become an integral part of my daily wellness routine. I talk about routine and accountability a lot on my NYC Fit Fam Instagram and blog, and accountability buddies. That's how I do it. So my husband and I built in accountability buddies every morning. We line up our Metamucil, we take it together, and that's how you create a routine.
Yeah, routines are fundamentally what people who live a long time have in their lives.
True.
You don't, work out every day. You should do that too, but you do it because you're walking up the top of the hill to collect the pail, carry the wood, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Come on over. If you want to have that lighter feeling, we want to help make Metamucil a part of your daily routine, and we're going to have some creative ways to do it so it's more enjoyable. So you're a busy mom. You got a lot of things going down. How do you incorporate Metamucil into your daily life?
Oh my gosh, like most of your viewers, I am always in a rush. And that's one of my favorite things about Metamucil is just how easy it is. So for me, I'm on the go, right? So first thing in the morning, I put 1 rounded teaspoon in a shaker bottle. I shake it up really hard, okay? I like actually the orange sugar-free flavor because for me, I'm always trying to stay hydrated. And this is also just a fun way to kind of liven up my water.
Yeah, which is always a hassle because who wants water?
All day long.
I love water, but I know people get upset about it. So Kim's with us. Kim joined the Metamucil Challenge a few weeks ago. How are you? So what is your favorite way of incorporating it into your diet?
My favorite way is a morning smoothie. I start my day this way every day. I start with water or skim milk. You can use skim milk. I use protein powder, whey protein powder. I use my Metamucil. I use 2 rounded teaspoonfuls. You can use 1. I need more. And I use some sort of frozen fruit. I take bananas that are too ripe constantly, and I cut them up and put them in the freezer, or peaches, mangoes, whatever you like. Put it all together, blend it, drink it.
So I gotta say, it probably helped you be more regular, I'm assuming.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Made a difference.
Yes, huge difference.
A lot of you took the challenge to support regularity and feeling less sluggish. I get that. But there are other health benefits that I want you to explain. These are things that a lot of big groups have looked at, and it's one of the reasons that fiber has become so important to the American diet.
That's so true. So, Dr. Oz, in addition to helping you be more regular and feel lighter, there's a bunch of great benefits to Metamucil. So, it's going to help you feel less hungry between your meals. It also maintains healthy blood sugar levels as part of your diet. It's also going to help by trapping and removing cholesterol to promote heart health. And then, of course, it's going to promote digestive health.
So I made a little animation because what you just said is so important. I want people to understand exactly what's happening inside of you, especially with what's called soluble fiber. So the psyllium fiber becomes a gel. And when it enters into your stomach, that gel does lots of important things, including trapping sugars, which are these little yellow things, and carbohydrates, they're the green ones. They take that trapped stuff out of your stomach into your small intestine, where slowly, when needed, the body begins to absorb some of the sugar. See, the little yellows pop out when you need them. If you're running around, you're chasing some kids, whatever's going down, it helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels for that reason. This is just dump all the sugar into your body. It lets it seep into your body when you need it. And whether you're looking for added benefits like these, to trap and remove waste, the Metamucil can offer something for everybody, which is one of the reasons it's become so popular. So how do you find it?
Metamucil, it's available at Walgreens and retailers nationwide.
So easy to do. And we want to continue making it a part of your wellness routine. So go to DrOz.com. You can find all the recipes you talked about today, tricks, lots more stuff. But what about the audience? They've been so loyally listening. They're almost jealous. They can't leave empty-handed.
Let's give them the goods.
You want some? Thanks to my partner, Metamucil. You all got home with Metamucil and a Walgreens gift card. We'll be right back.